There she is. So, is it worth it? Is it worth it? So what am I talking about? Should you invest in a bike of sorts if you're hiking? Or if you're doing the Munros, or bagging the Corbetts, or just going hill walking? I'm going to talk about that in this video, and I can tell you already I've probably saved myself about an hour by having the trusty steed with me. But yeah, I am heading for a Munro in the heart of the Cairngorms, and at the moment it's in the cloud. There might be a disadvantage for me bringing the bike today, but again I'll come on to that later on. But let's crack on a bit and I'll bring you back when I'm a wee bit further along the track. I'd left pretty early from the Linnadee car park. I was up at 5:30 and on my way, and as I mentioned, I'd been going for an hour, and the bike had certainly made a massive difference and allowed me to get quite a good distance along the track. And as I said, it's a Munro that I'm headed to called Cairngorms, and yeah, I just aim to look at some of the advantages and disadvantages of using a bike. But what a wonderful place the Cairngorms are. Look at this. Oh man, I don't know if you can make them out, but I'm getting absolutely devoured. These are one of the things about doing these videos. I had to stop and do bits to camera, and oh my god, as soon as I stop they're just swarming. I really don't know if the camera's picking this out. Wow. Right, let's get moving, because there's going to be nothing left of me. It's just going to be skin and bones. Whoa, right. I'll report back when I'm cycling, because this is horrendous. Right, let's go. Ah. I was hoping to do more bits to camera, but my god, it was midgegeddon, absolutely horrendous. So I was glad to get going on the bike again. Okay, that's me out of the trees and I'm cycling a bit. So, first major advantage of a bike or a mountain bike or whatever bike you want to sort of take is saving time. At the moment I've done just over 8 kilometres in about 50 minutes, and that's with stopping to film. That would probably take me about twice that. I would have thought roughly. I think they usually say the rule of thumb's about 4 kilometres to an hour on the flat, and let me just check. Elevation gain. Yeah, I've actually gained 131 metres, so maybe take a bit longer. So that's the first big advantage, is the time you're saving. God, look at this weather, isn't this fantastic? This wasn't forecast. I'll tell you a bit more about that in a wee while, but look at this. Lovely. The hill that I'm going up is up here, Cairngorms. It's still in the cloud at the moment. Done it a few times before, but I just thought I'd give it a blast, and I'll tell you why. When I get up, I'll give you some stories as well about my bike and the reasons I bought the bike back in the day when I was just a hiker, although I'm still just a hiker, rambler, rock and roller. Right, let's go. Oh. Right, I'm at the point where the track, for me anyway, it's getting too rocky and it's not making any sense to cycle any further. Oh, the midges are back. I'm just going to hide the bike over here, and then it's on foot from here, hiking. Good fun. Ooh, right. Oh, right, it's a nice wee spot here. I'll stick it down here out of the way. But as always, I'll put the padlock on. You just never know. Oh, right. Just had another. Oh dear God. Oh, another advantage. Oh my god. I've taken the bike so it goes fast enough to get away from the midges, but when you stop, they get you, so you have to stop and put your bike away. That's a major disadvantage of the, the bike, because when you stop, the midges can get you. Right, let's get hiking. I'll bring you back in a wee while. Oh, I need to take my helmet off, I don't need that. Oh my god, what am I like? The footage doesn't really do the midgegeddon any justice. They were swarming and it was horrendous, and it's no wonder that I'd forgotten to take my helmet off, because I was just keen to get going to try and get away from them. Anyway, it was soon time to cross the river. You can head up and across a bridge, but I chose just to cross it here to get away from the Midge. Right, that's me started the hiking and the ascent of the hill, and yeah, I feel pretty fresh. Still got the steep bit to do. I'll spin you around and show you. That'll bring me on to another advantage of using the bike, is I feel quite fresh. You're using slightly different muscles. If I was walking all the way in with a big pack on, say if I was camping, another advantage I'll come on to later on, but anyway, my legs would be feeling tired, but because I've been using different muscles, when I get off the bike, and start hiking. Although I'm a wee bit tired, I feel alright, I feel pretty fresh, so let's get up here a bit further. I'm going to put my bonnet on because it's cold, it feels like winter and it's summer. And that's been a characteristic, as I've said before, of this summer. It's late summer now and the forecast for the high tops is snow today. I don't think I'll get it up here. This is about 1,050 metres, but in places like the Annex and Ben Nevis there'll be a coating of snow. And there's nothing unusual about getting that in August time or any month of the year. But this year we've just not been interspersed by any sort of sunny weather or long sustained sunny spells, summery spells, summer weather. Anyway, let's get this hat on. Oh right, let's get my hat on because my wee bald napper is getting cold. Ooh-wee. I'll tell you another advantage while I'm getting my hat on. It's related to the first one, is because you can cover more ground with a mountain bike, providing the tracks are fine. I mean, some of these long walk-ins to some of the Munros, you wouldn't be able to take a bike along. Well, you could, but you'd have to be good at biking. But certainly the Cairngorms and lots of places, there's great estate tracks. It allows you to get quite far into the hills. And that means you can do them in a short period of time, obviously, but like today, I need to gain brownie points, I need to be back, so I'll be back long before lunchtime. Or if I was doing a route which would take all day, or maybe 2 days, you could fit that into a single day using the bike. So it just opens up more opportunities for you to do more. God, where's this bloody hat? Here we go. Yeah, I think it opens up. But then again, that might be a disadvantage to some people. Some people might want to take it in a bit more and just enjoy the hike as opposed to cycling and worrying about bikes. But yeah, anyway, God, this rain. It was forecast to come in earlier on. I thought I'd be cycling in it, but I'm not. I'm kind of glad. That's maybe another. You might get wetter if you're cycling. That's maybe a disadvantage of having a bike. You're going to get wet anyway, aren't you? Don't know who I'm trying to kid. Right, drink of water, then we'll get going. This is pretty grim. The rain is heavy, so much for it being light showers. As forecast. It's ain't light showers. I don't think I'm going to get a view from the top to show you, unfortunately. But let's discuss that when we get there. We're at about 900 metres now. Still about 150, 200 metres of ascent to go. And yeah, let's see if it clears. You never know. Some of the light coming in along the glen. Oh, I'm not. I don't know if I caught any footage of it, but sometimes it's days like this when it clears you get the best conditions. Certainly if I fancied any photography, but anyway, I'm kind of whittling on. What other advantages of the mountain bike? Oh yeah, big advantage of the mountain bike is I've used them. When did I have my first knee operation? Early 20s, and after that I bought a bike. I used to go jogging and running, and my knees can't do that. So I've been using bikes for about 30 years now, and yeah, one to help strengthen up my knee, but I've got a story that really turned the tables for me. I'll maybe tell you that at the top. I was hoping to I was planning something when I got back to the van as well. I might still do that, but the weather's like this, I'm not going to be doing it. Right, onwards. Here we are. Summit of Cairngorms. I'm not going to stay too long, there's a couple of folk coming up behind me, so I'll tell you my story on the way down. Right, quick stop, turn round. What time is it now? 2 hours 10. We're at 1,070-ish metres, so yeah, fantastic. Woo. Wee amendment to the height, not at 1,070-ish metres. My Garmin's obviously off, I didn't calibrate it before I left. It's this top's 1,037 metres, so lovely. So yeah, had I not been farting about with drones and taking footage, I could have been up here in I think just under 2 hours, which is pretty good going for getting to what they call the heart of the Cairngorms. Maybe some people might call it remote. I'm not going to go into that argument. I'll put a link in the description below on a video all about what's remote and what's not remote, and really interesting comments in that video actually about what people, and they're all relevant, and I agree with most of them. What some people class as remote, things like not having a phone signal or a long way from any roads or not being near people. So if a Munro like this, which is quite busy, there's lots of people, some people don't see that as remote. And it's early, I mean, it's, what time is it, before 9 o'clock, and I've already met loads of folk. So that kind of, anyway, go back and watch that video. I'm going to shut up, I'll give you the wee story about why I eventually got a bike for hiking in a wee while on the way down. Let's head off. Okay, so just bumped into a couple of folk that were wild camping there. Hence I thought they'd be up super early, but that'll be why. An advantage of wild camping, in fact that brings me to another advantage of the bike. If you are wild camping, you can use the bike to carry in a lot of your gear. I've done that a few times, take the big rucksack and then dump the bike and then put everything into the big rucksack. And at other times just take the bike in and set camp up. It just takes the weight off your shoulders. It's a big help, that. Anyway, I was going to tell you the story. Is this clearing? Oh, I don't get this. The rain's gone off a wee bit. The story why I decided to get a bike for hiking. I did have, as I said, I've had bikes for years for exercising, but it was actually first trip to Ben Alder, and me and my pal walked all the way in and we camped outside Coolra, I think it's Coolra, which is shut now due to asbestos, but it's quite busy, so we camped there. Went up and over. I can't remember if we did some of the four Munros next to Ben Alder, but we certainly did Ben Alder, then a while, got back, and then the weather closed in as we got back to the tents, and after a big long day we had to walk all the way back down with torrential rain, watching people whiz past us on their bikes. I'd been in my early 20s then, so yeah, that's one of the reasons. It certainly makes a difference. Right, let's go, let's get back down to the bike and get back to the van for some. Oh, I'm not hanging around. Oh, let me just clean the lens. Not hanging around. Let's clean the lens again. I'm making it worse. My gloves are soaking. Oh God! Right, hold on. Okay, anyway, right. I don't think I've cleaned the lens very well, but anyway. Yeah, I wasn't hanging around up there because it was bloody freezing, but it's slowly starting to clear as I drop. Don't know if you can see anything. The forecast is for it to clear through, and that's maybe a disadvantage on this occasion of using the bike. Is had I been walking, I would probably have reached the top after it cleared through. But converse can be true when it's when it's the other way about. You know, when the weather's better early on, you can get in quicker. So pros and cons there, but there's a disadvantage today. Here we go, there's a view. First view for a while. Woo! There's the track away down yonder, my bike's down there somewhere. And there's the glen that I came up way over there. So what a sight, isn't that lovely? And the sun, the sun's almost making an appearance. Right, let's go. Typical, starting to clear. That's where I was up there. Look at those slabs. Wow. Still raining though. Right, I'll bring you back at the river crossing. As you could probably tell, the winds were pretty strong on the way up the hill, which was actually a good thing because it kept away the midges. But as I dropped back down into the shelter of the trees and down to the glen, the midge came out, so I didn't do too many bits to camera. I crossed the river again over the stones, and yeah, I was soon heading back to get my bike. But yeah, because I was in the forest here, it was really sheltered, and that just meant one thing. Yep, Midgegeddon returned, and I was getting eaten alive, so I just headed on. Well, I'm actually back. Well, you can see blue sky behind me. But I don't know if you recognise that tree there. This is where I stopped in the way in. I was getting eaten alive by midges, but there's a wee breeze here. But back there, the midge were ferocious again. I'd left my bike, so I've just kept on going. I've been cycling now for 10 minutes since I last saw you, but the weather's improving as forecast. Rain's gone off and there's blue sky. Typical. But that means I might be able to do what I'm hoping to do when I get back to the van. I shall reveal all later on. Right, I'll go on a bit further and I'll bring you back and give you some more disadvantages. And maybe if I can think of any more advantages to having the bike. Right, let's go. Well, sod's law, sun's come out. The clouds lifting off the summits. Probably see that from some footage I've put up now. And the colour of the heather is absolutely glorious at this time of year. It's really a good time to come to the Grampians. Anyway, I'm enjoying this freewheel down the glen, another advantage. But a big disadvantage, I think, is the price and the faff. So it's not cheap to buy bikes, mountain bikes, gravel bikes, whatever you go for. I use the bike to work scheme, which helped a wee bit. But yeah, there's also the upkeep of them, maintenance, cleaning them, and just the faff of loading them in and out of the car. But I don't know, I think it's worth it. I really do think it's worth it. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comments below. Are you anti-bike? Or are you pro-bike? Or who cares? Yeah, who cares like me? Anyway, right, I'll bring you back at the van. And not long ago, it's not going to take me long to get to the van. Alright, let's go. Right, I'll give the game away in a minute when I show you what I'm wearing. This is what I came back for. It's been a lovely day since I've got back. We've been walking the dogs down the Louis water and the sun's been out. You can see behind me the blue sky's out, but we're going to see if we can have a wee dip now. That's what I was going to do. So we've got our robes on. We're going to see if we can be brave. So elite athletes have ice baths, don't they? This is just the same. Right, we'll report back in a while. So we nipped down to the River Dee and yeah, just went for a quick duke, but we didn't linger too long, and that wasn't anything to do with the coldness of the water or anything like that. It was mainly to do with those biting insects, although it was cold as you can see. Right, what you saw is what you got there. I literally submerged myself. And it was a bit fast flowing, but not that bad. But it's the midges that have got us and the clegs. I don't know if you can see them or not, but we're going to head back in. So I'm glad that I've done that. That's obviously fixed my muscles. Anyway, I'm going to end the video here. That's got nothing to do with cycling, by the way. Maybe elite cyclists do that as well. Ice baths. I don't know. Anyway, if you've made it this far, thank you so much for watching. As always, stay safe out there, and I'll see you next week for another adventure. Right, then we get the van packed up and head back home. Thanks for watching.